Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have more Kickstarter goodness. This time it's Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, a game of horror, brought to you by Trick or Treat Studios and the 9 miniature character pack as well, which was obviously an add-on for the Kickstarter. So I backed this last year or a year and a half ago, whenever it was, and it finally came through. So now that I have it, I figured I'd do an unboxing for you. I'm a huge horror fan. I do like some of the Rob Zombie films, and House of a Thousand Corpses definitely left a mark on. I like the first one, the second one, and the third one. Third one wasn't very good, but the first movie was really a really great addition to the horror franchises. So the reality is I enjoyed the film. So I said as soon as I saw this, and I also like a lot of the games that Trick or Treat Studios has released, which I've also done a bunch of unboxings for those as well. So I figured why not pick this one up as well. So we're going to start off with the base box, and then we'll take a look at the figures a little bit later, because again, that was an add-on. You don't necessarily need that to enjoy the actual box set and the actual game. So here we are, Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, a game of horror, by Nick Bagdagalica and Doug Nation. Again, it's brought to you by, most importantly, by Trick or Treat Studios. So let's take a look at the back and see what it has to say. Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, a game of horror. Look, sometimes you bite off more than you can chew, and you hold a few too many people captive in your house, and maybe your family was a little indiscreet with a couple of killings. That doesn't mean the police have the right to come snooping around. Inconvenient is what that is. In the House of a Thousand Corpses board game, each player will take on the role of a member of the Firefly family. Players will work together cooperatively to find pesky teenagers hiding in your house and stop them from running too far. The sheriff may also be prowling around, making things more difficult. To win, you'll need to recapture enough people and bring them to Dr. Satan before you run out of time and the rest of the police arrive. Okay, this was released in 2024 by Trick or Treat Studios. And there's your game design. So again, this is a horror-based board game, so it tells us right there. It's for 1 to 4 players. Takes about 60 minutes to play, and since it's of the horror theme and murders and stuff of that nature, it's for ages 17 plus. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. Of course, as you guys know, as with my other videos, whenever I'm using a blade, I always do it off screen this way. If I do get hurt, if I do get hurt, you will. Nobody wants to see that. So here we go with this. So continue going with the unboxing. So as you saw, we had a brief second of a power outage. So here we go. So that the lights just flashed on and off, so you probably saw that in the back of the camera. So that was unexpected, but we're troopers and we continue to move forward. So, okay, let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have inside the box. So right off the bat, we have our rule book. And so he says a House of a Thousand Corpses, 1 to 4 players, takes about 50 or 60 minutes to play, ages 17 plus. We've got difficulty and player count. We got the setup, the play area, build the seed and search decks, fill up the board. You got your different components, obviously. It shows you how to set up the game, get the players ready, components in detail, the game board, the tracks, initiative track, blood meter track, round track, search cards, victim cards, item cards, condition cards, barrier cards, rabbit cards. Then we have run cards, trophy cards, corpse tokens, Lieutenant Wydell standee. Game flow, you got action rounds, player turns, check for game ending conditions, check for running victims, advanced round tracker, recovery rounds, swap equipped items and remove conditions, retrieve adrenaline cubes, reset action chain and initiative track, advanced round tracker. Taking actions, the action chain, spending adrenaline cubes, gives you different examples of how to do that. burning action cards, item and trophy cards, different examples. Examples are in pink appears. Move actions, kill actions, search actions. It gives you examples of each of those on the page. Capture actions, special actions, running, resolving run cards. Again, more examples. Escaping. You got the front porch, back porch, hiding, the lettered spaces. Hiding, corpses. Again, hiding and corpse tokens. Lieutenant Wydell, when he shows up, limiting player actions, Lieutenant Wydell effects, and then ending the game. As soon as the Firefly family's blood meter marker reaches the final space of the track, all players immediately win the game together. They have satisfied Dr. Satan and kept enough of their activities secret to avoid suspicion. Losing. If at any point during the fourth action round all players have passed or there are no remaining legal actions available that would increase the blood meter, the game is over and all players lose. Police reinforcements have arrived with too much evidence in plain sight, and the family's days of freedom are numbered. Players can also lose immediately if a third victim escapes the game board and or is secured by Lieutenant Wydell. Too many people have seen too much and all are let loose to tell their macabre story. So you got about 15 pages of rules, and you got a quick reference guide on the back. Action round sequence, player actions, recovery round sequence, your symbol guides, and your credits for all the good people who brought you the game. Again, for more information, go to trickortreatstudios.com. Okay, so we have that. And let's take a look at the game board next. So I'll put this to the side again for a second. So this is going to be a pretty big, so we've got, it appears that there's is multi-sided. I'm going to say yes. So there's multiple sides to this. All right, so we have two sides, it appears. We have it's a big game board, so I do not want to crack it. Again, it's brand new, so definitely don't want to do that. So let's just open this up real quick. So it says you have Murder Ride, world famous Murder Ride. So you have the baby's room, you have the basement, you have the bathroom, you have the kitchen, the dining room, you have the den, the exit, the living room, the mother's room, Hugo's room, the attic and Otis's room, you got the baby room, and again you've got that stuff here, bathroom and the basement over here. So I'm going to flip it over this way so you can see a little better from that angle as well. Again, trying very hard here not to crack the board and break it. Again, it's upside down. So here we have it here. So let me see if I can do it this way very quickly. Give you a side view of the board. It's really quite an impressive board. The colors on it pop really, really well. It's a very dark, macabre subject matter, so I mean, but it really captures the feel and flavor of the film. Which has obviously become a horror favorite for many, many, many people, hence the licensing of the product into a board game. So at the top, you also have 4 spaces on top, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got your murder tracker up here, up to 18, and then you have Albert Fish, Lizzie Borden, Ed Gein, and Dr. Satan over here. 4 different characters on top. So that is one side of the board. Now, if we flip it to the other side of the board, looks like, again, it's exactly the same. You've got the den, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, basement. Well, up here, I think that only goes 15. The other board goes up to 18. So it might be for more players, I'm not sure. Baby's room, Hugo's room, mother's room. So these are identical boards. Looks like the top is the only thing that's different. So that says Nightmare goes up to 15. This night, yeah, and the Nightmare here goes up to 18. So that's different. So we'll keep it on this side. So it looks like, so you have 2 choices of how to play the game. 15 rounds or 18 rounds, it appears to, or 18, depending on what you're going to be playing. Okay, and your exit is down here where you're trying to escape, or there. Here's this exit. Exits over there. So if the victims are going to try, you're going to be hunting the victims, and the victims are going to try to escape on you. So get most of the board in it that I can. So already we talked about the rule book, which we had here. So I'll put that out there. And then we have our tokens, the different characters. Looks like the burn markers. They're showing the burning that they were talking about. So you got Hugo, Earl, Dr. Satan, you got Tiny, you got Otis, you have Spaulding, you have Mother, and you have Baby. I'll flip it this way so you can see those two. There's Hugo, Dr. Satan, Otis, Mother, and you got the sheriff over here, and you got those. So that's your set of tokens that you have. If you flip it over to the back, and they're nice thick cardboard, so they go right back in. So you know they're good, high quality. There you go. Pops right back into place. So there's your set of tokens, and there's your rule book, and there's your game board. You have your standees. All right, so let's just pop one out and see how easily they fit right in. They should fit right in. Yep. There you go. Works perfectly. So I'll put her over here. And those are your standees, your stands for your standees. Then you have these black items. You have a cube or blood drop. That's probably your tracker. You have these black discs. Now I'm not sure what those are for, so we'll have to find out. Maybe you have some stickers to put them on, but you got a bunch of those. You've got your blood tracker right here as well. These are wooden cubes. So you got a blood tracker. So I'm assuming that's the piece that goes on top here, and you track it up here. I'm assuming that's where that goes. All right. Again, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get 8 of those black discs, and you get some silica gel too. Remember, don't need that. All right. You have some red cubes. Got some red cubes. That's cool. Those as well. Here we go. You got an extra baggie for your tokens. That's always helpful to have. So remember we were talking about the movers. So you have stickers. Place these stickers on the wooden initiative markers before your first game. So these get pulled off, and these go on top of here. So stickers for your markers. Got those up. And they give you even more bags, which I always appreciate that. More and more baggies for the game. So you can put your tokens in there. That seems like an inordinate amount of baggies. Oops, sorry about that, hitting the camera. And then we got 2 decks of mini cards. 2 decks of mini cards. All right, so it appears that we have number 1 here. Again, always opening things off camera, so if I slip a blade and I cut myself, we don't need to have that on film. So we can move on over here, even though it would be apropos for this board game. Ooh, these have a nice slick feel to them. All right, so it looks like we have a tied up guy. We have a clue on fire, it looks like. Maybe some movement cards. A knife card. So we got a whole bunch of different kinds of cards here. Got some hands. And then we've got a bunch of heart cards. So we'll do that one last. So since that's the most, let's start with the smallest amount. We'll look at this one. So we got, looks like 4 of these cards that look like that. Flip those over. Ah, capture cards. So when you capture a character or a teenager that's in the house. Again, you've got the knife. Ah, when you make a kill. It's pretty straightforward. Maybe they're running. They're moving, yes. Maybe you're searching. Yep, searching. It's a hot search. All right, so there's 4 cards, sets of cards right there. Then you have your, looks like a tied up card, victim card. So let's see what this is. Ah, maybe these are different stat lines. So again, let's take a look at these. It looks like most of these are the same, not all identical. Nope. Okay, so they're going to be switching up. So 4, 3, 2. All the cards seem to be set up the same way, but maybe it shows you the action. I'm not sure. I don't see any dice in the game, so I'm not quite sure how this works. So again, you have the star, you got the action, different things you can do. So it's just showing you things that you can do. So obviously you're flipping this. This is probably the movement deck for the kids. It's going to tell you could take 3 actions towards exit, move 2 times towards exit, depending on how many wounds they have or whatever it may be. So this might be action and movement cards for the victims themselves. So I'm just going to flash through those because there's not much reading to be done on them. But as you can see, the icons are changing. I'm guessing this is based upon the type of wounds that they have, and this might be they are dead. And I'm not sure. AJ, not sure. Not quite sure. Again, we're gonna have to read the rule book to find that out. So that's that deck of cards. It has all these icons on there. Then we have our blood scalp trophy, severed hand, oops, severed foot, femur, intestines, rib cage, liver, heart, eyeball, spleen, brain matter, severed ear, severed finger, teeth, toenails, and the spine of a victim. So again, on the bottom, all the cards are set up identically. You've got the picture on top, you've got, or the artwork on top, you've got the title. All these are trophies, so these are all trophy cards. And down at the bottom, it tells you some more icons. Again, all these icons are explained to you in the rule book, but the icons on the bottom tells you what it is. So it looks like these match up with these cards down here. Maybe 2 random. Because you got 2 of those, and those are right down. 2 capture right there. Maybe you capture 2 with this one. Not sure how that works. So again, that's why we have a rule book. That's why we got to play through the game to find out how these cards work. But there you go. That's you got your blood card. So show you what all those are. Again, the different photos on the back of the cards that you see here. Just so you see what the cut backs look like. We have that here, and then we have one more. It looks like a search deck. Again, all these cards are identical. Oh, we got another baby card, another one that's all tied up, and that would be this here. So I was wondering why that looked like that. So I'm gonna put this up there. They added 1 extra card to this deck here. So it appears that you have search cards. It appears that they have different types of search cards. So it looks like I'm just going to separate them real quick. Okay, into the different colors that I see here. Okay. So let's take a look at each of these. So it looks like now all the cards fall under the search category card. but it tells you, so again, so obviously when you're going around the room and you mix these cards up, you're looking for the victims. So I'll just show you the victims. So these are the people who are tied up in your house. You've got victim, you got a cheerleader, 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 cheerleader. You got Bill Hudley. You got Don Willis. You got Deputy Steve Nash. You got Denise Willis. And you have Mary Knowles. And of course, you also have Jerry Goldsmith. So these are all victims. It tells you how many wounds they can carry on them. So cheerleaders seem to be all the same. So you got, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cheerleaders. You got this guy, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got 4 cheerleaders. You got a total of 10 that you have the victims that you have to find around the house. And it tells you right in there, all the cards are set up the same. You got the picture, the title, how many wounds they take, and obviously on the bottom it says they're all victims. So there are your victims. Now, also you have barriers. Use one this. That means capture, but use one capture card to remove the barrier cards. Okay. So you gotta use some elbow grease, and then elbow grease to fix that. Then you have some more barriers here. So you got 3 different types of barriers. Maybe you got a chair propped up against the doorknob. You need 2, looks like 2 knives, 2 of these cards to remove it. Your trading cards that you're picking up, that you're finding. You got barrier. You need 1 of these to pick it up, to move it. And then you have, again, the knife there is right there to remove this barrier here, which is a boarded up door. So that's just another kind of clue card. Then you have, it says run, rabbit, run. So maybe the victims are going to run. Again, that's explained to you in the rule books what that card means. And then we've got ourselves some bruise cards, distracted cards, confused cards, scrape, flesh wound, fooled, sprain, outfoxed, and broken leg. And all these icons on the bottom explain to you what they mean in the rule book. But a lot of them, again, you see the sets of cards that are up here. Obviously, those cards are going to determine certain things on these cards. So those work in conjunction with these cards. All right. This is not a hidden, it doesn't appear to be a hidden movement game like Halloween is, which we also did unboxing for. So these are some loot things that you find. Some fried chicken, fence post, a daddy mask, the crapper key, a little wolf, a store matchbook, mother's pistol, you've got holy water, you've got Tiny's bowl, you got breakfast cereal, you got Otis's hatchet, you got a baby knife, you've got Halloween masks, you've got Ravelli's mask, you've got Hugo's TV dinner, you got baby's cowboy hat, you've got Otis's lantern, mother's boa, you've got Spalding's pull toy, you've got Tiny's mask, and you have Earl's axe, and you have Dr. Satan's forceps. So there you go. These are some items. These are item cards that you could find. Obviously down here, again, it tells you, again, all these cards are interrelated, so not exactly sure how they work. But again, it'll explain it all in the rule book, what all these icons on the bottom mean. Like I say, you see them on the cards up here too. So there's got to be a combination of using these cards and with these cards. And we also have some player boards. Oops, sorry about that. I'm not going to start the whole video because I hit the camera, so I apologize for that, guys. These are nice, very well done, and very, very, very thick. These are very thick player boards. Wow. Okay, so we got Earl Firefly. He just up and went devil on us all. So you got Earl the Firefly. Again, so you got your item card here, your used item, and you can fit the cards right in here. This one you can't, but this one, there's a space in here where you can put the things in here. Here's where your cubes are going to go into. Up top it says burn action, move adrenaline cube, or use special action once per action round. The next time you use a victim, you may gain 2 blood instead of 1. Do not draw trophy cards. Okay. So there you go. So all these cards are set up the same way. So look, I believe this card can fit right in there. No, that doesn't go in there. So it doesn't fit right. Curious as to what's going to go in here because it's got a little bit of an angle on there. But as you can tell, it's got space there for here. So I'm just curious. All right, there you go. So you can be Earl Firefly. You can be Grandpa Hugo if you want to be that character. You can be Dr. Satan. You can be Tiny Firefly. You can be Captain Spaulding. You can be Mother Firefly. You can be Otis Driftwood. Or you can be Baby Firefly, who of course is Rob Zombie's wife. Again, in the back. Show the backs of them with different quotes from the film. Okay. Dr. Satan again. And we have Grandpa Hugo. So again, these are thick. As you can tell, they are very, very thick cardboard. Very, very thick and really, really well done. So that's very, very cool. And of course, with these game boards as well, again, you've got the spacing in here where the red cubes will go right in here, marking off how much you're accomplishing and what you've done. So that's very, very cool as well. So let me take this, put this up here real quick. Let's put these over here so we know we got those as well. So you got all these cards, the player boards, you got the punch outs, you got the board itself, which is underneath here. You got the rule book, you have the standee holders, you have these placement markers for your characters, which you can put the stickies on there. Or, now again, this was an add-on for the Kickstarter, this was an add-on. Or you can, instead of using standees and stuff like that, you could make an additional purchase and do the House of 1,000 Corpses and purchase the actual miniatures for them. And they are definitely oversized. I believe they're 54 millimeter. So let's read a little bit about this. Until today, no trace of Dr. Satan has ever been discovered. But today you can discover him in miniature form, along with Captain Spaulding and his other associates. They can creep out about your desk or shelf. Or you can use them to upgrade your House of 1,000 Corpses board game, also available from Trick or Treat Studios. So again, you have one figure for every cast member that you're going to be using in the game. You got your sculptors, you got your illustrators. This was again released in 2024 by Trick or Treat Studios, who obviously has the licensing. So what I'll do is I will pull them out of the box for you so you can take a look at each one of them. Again, when I backed this Kickstarter, it was an option to purchase these. Again, you can play the game without the figures, and this was just added cost. So some people like to get the miniatures and paint them. Some people like to do them to enhance their games. Other people, well, they just like to play with the standees, and that's fine too. For board games, I tend to like miniature figures. So this is a little stuck. Let me pull this open off the camera. Because again, it's the first time opening it, so it can get, it'll be a little tricky and sticky, and here it comes. There we go. We finally got that open. Now that it's open, it'll stay open permanently, but it's going to be a little bit tricky to get the box open. All right, we got the box open finally. Oh, I'm opening it from the wrong side, probably. There we have our box of figures. Again, these are on the larger side, but there they are right there inside their container. All right, so let's see what they look like. So here are your different characters. So size-wise, again, we'll do a quick size comparison here. So there's your typical 28 miniature size miniature. So I'll see, there it is. So you see there's a large size comparison. Okay, that's one of their characters you can play. Again, these were for additional cost. You do not need to have them. Okay. So they're nicely detailed. Definitely going to enhance your game to some degree. That's really cool. These figures are really, really well done. Oh. Of course, you got the sheriff. Wants to stop all this debauchery. Okay. Another one of the characters that you could play, the grandfather. And in the end, you can always be the baby. Rob Zombie's wife. So there you have it. This is everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing of the House of a Thousand Corpses board game. Along with also, we had the House of a Thousand Corpses 9 miniature character set. This was sold separately. The characters you see in front of you here was an add-on for this Kickstarter. In the Kickstarter itself, if you backed it, what you came with was Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, a game of horror brought to you by Trick or Treat Studios. Again, this game is for 1 to 4 players. It lasts about 60 minutes and it's for ages 17 and up due to the content that is within the box. So as always, thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you could always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You could also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to every time we release a new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the remainder of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.